You're listening to the AV-IT Amplifier. Each week, we'll feature voices and ideas that need to be amplified in the higher education and pro-AV IT communities. This show is brought to you by higheredav.com. And now here's your host, Ryan Gray.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for tuning again to the AV-IT Amplifier. I am your host, Ryan Gray, and we are back week 2 with your friend and my friend, Jen Weaver, and we are on site at the University of Arizona for the Arizona HETMA Roadshow today, which is why we're, audio, video quality, not the normal.
Not the norm.
Because we are
together.
Exactly. It's guerrilla style recording, but like I said last week, I couldn't miss the chance to get Jen on the show since we were going to be in the same place at the same time.
Yes.
So I knew we can find an hour.
We
in there
can find
do
an
this.
hour.
So Jen, thank you for coming back.
Yes.
Thank you for talking with us again this week. Remind everybody, Jen, who are you and what do you do?
So I am Jennifer Weaver. I am our business development manager for education at Starin. And Starin is a distributor. So we have about 40 different manufacturers, and we work with reseller and integrators. And my focus is in education, mainly higher ed. So I work with the higher ed community and also our integrators and resellers.
Cool. All right. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Do not be afraid by the questions.
And I know some of these questions because I've listened, but now I can't remember a single one.
That's good.
Yeah, I know.
I've had to start to cycle them a little bit because people pick up on them and they're prepped, and it's better when they don't know what's
Yes,
coming.
I know.
So we'll start with one of my favorite ones to get into, which is, do you consider yourself an introvert or an extrovert?
I am total extrovert.
Yeah.
Total extrovert.
Yeah.
I can, though, be an introvert.
Everybody, you know what I'm saying? You got two sides of the coin. So
yes.
Yeah.
Usually the introvert comes out at the end of the day because I'm tired.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the weekends I will sit on my couch and binge watch shows because I'm tired.
Yeah. Understood. So,
but yes, extrovert all the way.
So as someone then, who ostensibly, works remotely, you do a lot of travel. Do you ever get that kind of, I'm extroverted, but I'm going through this time where I'm at home all the time. Like I've got to get out somewhere. I've got to get to an event, or you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where I've got to find people to draw energy off of.
Yes, I do, because I most of my career I had an office that I could go to, which I didn't always have to go, and here with Starin, we don't have an office.
Yeah.
So yes, I am, when I'm not traveling, I'm working from my home office. And granted, when the communication, like everybody's going to say, talking to somebody on Zoom or whatever, is great. But I like the energy from people.
Yeah.
And so yes, I do need to get that and get out. So yeah, sometimes when there's a long stretch of not doing any travel or even a local meeting or some sort, I do get a little antsy, because then it's, you can kind of see a change in the person, because it's like, I don't get so motivated on things because I need that.
Yeah. People think I think there's a lot more understanding of so for instance, a day like today
Yes.
at the
Oh my
HETMA
God.
Roadshow is a very extroverted kind of thing. It's great. People like me, I just get pumped about it,
yes.
right? Because,
Yes.
and I'll book end to end, right? I'm doing something the whole time. For an introvert, it's stressful.
Very stressful.
And so when we plan this day, that's why there's okay, after people are out on the campus tour,
Yes.
but after that, there's kind of a little time that if people need to disappear, head somewhere quiet, they can go do it.
Yes.
But we don't always think about it on the
No,
reverse for
you
extroverts.
don't. No.
Where extrovert,
You want me to sit for a minute? That's where I'm going to fall asleep.
yeah, exactly. But that I've known people, and so this has been a thing, people who've worked in higher ed. They've been on campuses, they've been around people, they get an opportunity to do something else, and now they're a remote worker at home every day.
And they're going crazy.
And they're going crazy because it's the inverse of the that same thing. So, so I know you do a lot of traveling. That helps with that part. But how does that then balance? I know with you have a teenage son, and I'm in this place now where my daughter's 18, she's at college, and so that being away from home to travel is a different thing. So how do you work that? How have you balanced how that works for your family?
Yeah, it's hard. So luckily, my son's father can assist, right?
Yeah.
So he'll go over there with him, and we have some great friends. I fly my mom down. She lives in Ohio, so I fly her down when there's going to be stretches of being gone for a long period of time. So it's a little difficult, but we make it work.
Yeah.
And the great thing is, he's 14.
Yeah.
So he can do things. Basically, somebody just needs to make sure he's not burning down my house.
Exactly.
That's really it.
You get to that age of where it's, they just as soon, they don't understand. They're already trying to naturally gain independence from parents.
And he is definitely not the kid that if I had to leave somewhere at 6 a.m., can he get up by himself to go to school if I had a friend pick up? Oh, no, he would figure out a way how to call himself off of school. So, yes, that's my kid. He's just like his mother.
He's crafted that way. Nice.
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to skip to one. I don't do this. What's something that you're really proud of?
Ooh, that I'm really proud of?
Yeah.
I don't know. Let me see. I think I'm really proud of the fact that I have been able to manage being a single mom. Mm-hmm. I know it's really hard, and having a career. It's difficult, but I have people tell me all the time they don't know how I do it.
Right.
Especially like family and friends and things. So I think I'm probably really proud of the fact that I can do that. And my kid's great. I've instilled values in him. I tell him all the time, you could be a little jerk to me or to your father, but when you're around people, you need to be polite. You need to slay up. And I get so many compliments from people that say he is that very polite and respectful. So I think that's probably the proudest. What I'm most proud of.
That's awesome.
Yeah, thanks.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And so I want to then dive into that, I don't know how you do it phrase. And people say that all the time. Yes. But it has kind of a two-sided thing, which is, it's definitely something that people look at. When you say that, I look and I recognize that is difficult or an accomplishment, but it also has the twinge of, but I'm not actually that interested in understanding how you're actually doing it.
Right.
So how does that feel? That idea that it's well, you have to go do this thing, and I don't know how you do it.
Right.
But
it's hard. It's a lot of management. It's a lot of, and I have to schedule. I need to understand. He's on a travel basketball team right now, and God bless the coach. He's doing a lot of things, but we get the schedule on Sundays.
Yeah.
And then I have to rework some things.
Yeah.
And I have to figure out where he's going and what he's doing. And, his dad works a job. He's in the car business, so he works late. So we have to figure it out. And you just get it done. Yeah. There's no question about it. And usually when people say that, it's because they have a partner or they have family that can help.
Right.
We don't have that.
Yeah.
So you just have.
It means hustle. It just means flat out hustle.
Oh, it means hustle. It means hustle. And, sometimes I look around my house and I go, yeah, I'm not doing that today.
Yeah. Yeah.
Too tired.
Yeah. But that's there's even that is a thing where people say things like that, I just don't have the whatever, but it's as an excuse because there's still some sort of laziness and guilt.
Yes.
Where the idea of no. The important thing this week was we took care of what we needed to for him, and this other stuff can just wait.
Yeah, and and sometimes when we get home from stuff, I have to finish working because I have to leave, pick him up, get him to where he needs to be. We come home, we have dinner, he goes to bed, and I'm working. Yeah. So it's long days, long hours, but it's fine.
Well,
there is a light at the end of the tunnel.
That is true. It is not forever.
No, it's not. And I love my child, but I can't wait till he goes to college. Mom needs a break.
Exactly. All right. Well, you're not far off.
Yes, I know.
And you'll have good connections at colleges.
I will. So I know when he's ready to start looking, that college tour can be very interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yes. Do you believe people are generally good with a proclivity for evil, or generally evil with a proclivity for good?
This is hard for me to answer, and I say that because my favorite, I'm not a princess person. Mm-hmm. My favorite Disney character is Maleficent. Mm-hmm. And so when you look at her, she seems evil, but she also has some good in her. Mm-hmm. So it's hard for me to say that because I can see the people being evil with the proclivity to be good, and I can see it the other way around.
Okay.
So I'm kind of way down the middle. I think everybody's got both of them in it, and they walk a fine line.
Okay.
That's how I feel.
So having that, how does that inform how you move through the world, move through relationships? How does that thinking affect how
it's hard.
Yeah.
It's really hard. You always have to see and understand if there is an ulterior motive with people. Like I'm one to say there's, I have a motive for everything, like, yes, I want to understand, what you're doing, whatever, but I also want to get the sale out of it. Like, I'm not going to lie about that. But yeah, you have to, that's a fine line for me. That's the one that's hard for me to answer.
So it died, like, the feeling that comes off then is that, like, while, I smile and happy and everything's on the surface, there's a guard. The guard is up. You're ready. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
That if you got to get your gloves up.
I have to get the gloves up, I can if I need to, depending on what it is. But yeah, I think for me, I think people walk the line. I don't think it's one or the other.
Right.
I think you're walking that line, and you can go either way. And when you look at evils can be anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
It doesn't have to be real evil. Yeah.
So that also sounds like, being a single mom, that also sounds a little tiring to always have that feeling of like, I can't ever just be doing one thing because I've got contingencies and I've got this guard I have to keep up all the time.
Yeah.
All right.
That's probably, single mom. I'm always watching, looking, whatever. So that's unfortunately there's always a guard. Yeah. So they walk a line. They walk the line in the middle, and they can go either way. I don't think they're one or the other.
Well, let me know before you, come after me or something
never
like
would.
that. No, it's funny. I've been thought about that. I was doing an exercise, a personality style. And I was doing my Myers-Briggs, and the one I came up with matches. Like, one of the things about it is my personality sees the best in people, right? And I was talking to my wife about it, and she's like, "Oh yeah, I know that. That's why I always have to be having this other
good cop, bad cop."
Well, yeah, like and you're like, "Oh yeah, like it's that's why I like the answers to those questions because there is no right, there's no wrong, there's just those viewpoints, and they all have good and they all have trouble with them.
They all do, yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Well, thank you for sharing.
You're welcome.
All right, let's go for the less. All right, Aretha Franklin, Whitney Houston, Mariah Carey, Adele, or Beyonce?
Why is there no Prince in this category? I'm trying to understand why it's all a female category.
So, all right, you want to question my questions?
I hear this one all the time, and I keep waiting, and I keep trying to understand why it's all the female powerhouses.
Yeah, well, because I thought it would draw out. Oh, there's an interloper in the room.
Hello.
Hi. So,
can I use this room, or are you going to use the other room?
No, you can welcome anywhere. Just keep it down.
Keep it down.
Sorry. If anybody's listening, that is former guest of the show, Daryl Kroll, who just came into the room. Apparently, being on the show once wasn't good enough for.
Right.
Okay. No, so, all right. Questioning the question. The answer is, and again, it reflects me as much as anywhere else. It was a group. So, one, I wanted the question to be women because a lot of the industry is male.
Okay.
And I wanted to put men in to have to answer that too.
Got it.
They are all powerhouse because in my mind, there's a progression that kind of leads down that line from one to the other. But in their own ways, they're all very different.
Right.
So I thought this is something that might draw out some interesting responses of who choose what and why.
Yes.
And that's why I've liked it. And the answers to it have started some things enough that I keep it in every time.
Well,
so that's the answer.
Okay. Well, that makes sense. I totally understand that.
Okay.
Okay.
Why? So, but obviously you want to say Prince.
It would hands down. Any other time, my answer is always going to be Prince.
Okay. Why?
He is one. He was, and God rest his soul, my boyfriend that he never knew.
Okay.
I am a huge fan. I know so much. It's just one of those things that is my go-to. Everything is him. He's a musical genius. Mm-hmm. Has music to come out forever.
Yeah.
He has written so much for so many people, and people don't even realize it's his stuff.
Yeah.
And then when they hear him actually sing his stuff, they think he's singing the cover, but it's actually his. Yeah. So he's just, to me, a genius.
It connects.
It connects.
You're just totally connected.
Yeah. So if I have to pick.
Well, you're the guest. You don't have.
No, I can.
Okay.
So who were they again? Adele, Aretha Franklin, Mariah
what-
Carey.
That's why I always read it so I get it
Yes.
right. Aretha Franklin, Whitney Houston, Mariah Carey, Adele, Beyonce.
I have to go with Whitney Houston.
Why?
Because that was my era growing up, was her. She just was amazing. Her voice, the music she sang, the power that she could put into it. Like she's the one for me. Yeah, if I have to pick it.
So
it's that era for me.
What's your Whitney Houston song?
I Want to Dance with Somebody. I like that one.
That comes up a lot more. You always expect the I Will Always Love You
Yes,
from the Bodyguard.
it's a good one.
It is. But I Want to Dance with Somebody is.
That's,
I would agree.
Yeah.
All right, Prince. What's the best Prince song?
Oh, God. My absolute favorite is Little Red Corvette.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Nice.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. What's a family tradition that is really meaningful to you?
Let's see, family tradition. We probably doing my grandmother, and I just had to make it at Christmas actually this year. My grandmother always made this 7-layer Jell-O. Mm-hmm. She could whip it up no time. It was like 4 layers of the colored different Jell-O, and then like a cream filling in between it. So that's probably my family tradition is making that at holidays because it pulls her into that, because it was always something that she would always bring places. She was known for that. So now we try and do it. Like I said, we hadn't done it for years, and we did it last year, and it was good.
It was cool.
Yeah, it was cool. It takes forever to make, and it's a pain.
Yeah.
But it just pulls her back into that feeling that she's there with us.
That's cool. Yeah. And so I'll ask one. What is the feeling of her being there with you? A presence, or is it?
It's just knowing that this was her thing, and she was known for that, and she was amazing. Everybody loved her, and she was great. So it's just that feeling of remembrance, because as we move on, you go day by day, you don't forget.
Right.
But it's just, memories come back, and you can have conversations and remember things and remember how great she was.
Yeah, the word connection almost comes back in.
Yes.
Like we talked before. Repeating tasks, reconnects you to people who weren't there and that sort of thing. And then all of a sudden you find yourself telling stories about them. And I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
That's my thing. Yeah.
All right. Multicolored Jell-O.
Multicolored Jell-O.
Okay.
Yeah, they call it the Jell-O salad. It's not really a salad.
Well, we could get into that with the people who talk about there's only actually 4 foods in the world.
Yes.
Sandwiches, salads, this, and then you can categorize everything as
everything.
one of those.
Yeah.
So we'll let Jell-O salad go.
Be in there.
Nice. Cool. Okay. So I will ask you this question, but I have to take one option off the table because you talked about it in the first episode.
Okay.
So the question is, in the alternate fraction of the multiverse, and which you don't end up working in technology, working in AV, what would you be doing, or what would you be really good at? But you talked about starting as a teacher, and so we're now going to take that one out of bounds.
That one's off the table. I'm not allowed to go back and say that. Okay.
Yeah. So if you didn't end up kind of in this career path or that career path, what do you think you could have done that you would have been really good at or would have enjoyed doing?
I think I would. You know what I always wanted to be?
Well, all right.
And I would have still have loved to do it, but I think there's so many controversial things about it now today. But when I was little, I wanted to work as like a pseudo marine biologist, but I wanted to work at SeaWorld.
Yeah.
And I wanted to be the Shamu trainer or the dolphin trainers or things like that. So I think if I had the opportunity to go back, I would love to do something like that. I have an infatuation with dolphins. I love them.
Okay.
And I would want to do something where I could work with them in an aspect. Yeah.
So does the thing with dolphins, is that from childhood or
I have
something
no
that it
idea.
just-
It's just a thing. I think they're so cool. They're so smart.
Yeah.
You know, it's just one of those things where, and growing up too, my great uncle had a place in Fort Myers.
Yeah.
And we would go to Fort Myers Beach, and the one time I saw some dolphins while I was little, I thought they were sharks, and he's like, no, that they're dolphins. And, you know, it always stuck with me. He said, if you're ever around and there's sharks and there's dolphins, the dolphins are going to protect you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's one of those things where they're so intuitive to humans. So, yeah, that's what I'd want to do. I'd want to work something with dolphins and train them or do something, yeah.
So it sounds like that, that hints a little at the feeling that dolphins have a symbolism of protection against threat for you. Like you say dolphins, but then will you come right to this thing that I was told about them? That's awesome.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
All right.
Oh, trust me. Anytime I've seen them, I am that person that will figure out how to get in the water with them.
With them. So maybe, all right, we're going full diagnosis on you now, right? Dolphins are that symbol of the thing that can let your guard down.
Yes.
Because they'll help protect from the evil that you have to keep your guard up for.
Yeah.
All right. I'm a really terrible amateur psychologist.
This is getting therapy session.
I'm sorry about that. But I love, that's what
it's
like.
true. But it is.
We could do a show and talk about tech all day, fine. But that's the interesting stuff. I love that.
Yeah,
I love that.
They're so cool.
Okay. Well, I had my sister-in-law worked at SeaWorld. She was a construction engineer and built roller coasters for them and stuff like that. It was pretty cool.
I would have loved to have done that.
My kid, we were at SeaWorld all the time
I
when
love
she was
SeaWorld.
Yeah.
That was my favorite place.
That's cool.
Yeah.
All right, we got to figure out how to do. We need a school that's got a dolphin as a mascot.
We do. We need to figure that out.
Yeah.
But I'm sure there's some kind of guidelines with
A lot of regulations.
and PETA where they can't have one as a pet.
Yeah, you'll just have a mask. You just have a fuzzy mascot,
Yeah,
not a real
that's
one.
not. I need a real one somewhere. If anybody has one, let me know.
All right, we'll figure that out. Okay, say you had the opportunity, you're booking a vacation right now. Where are you going?
I want to go to Tahiti.
Tahiti?
Yes.
Why?
I see all of those little things on Instagram, the little huts,
Yes.
right? Where you can go and you have a concierge and a butler and you can walk right out.
Over the
and
water.
water's
and you
right
have your
there.
own- Oh my gosh.
That's where I want to go.
Okay.
That's what I want to do. If I have to take somebody with me, I'd probably take my best girlfriend with me. We've been friends since kindergarten, and she and I would take her with me.
Yeah. But would you? But if you're doing, would you kind of rather just go on your own, travel alone?
I think I would like that kind of place. I would need to go with somebody that I could travel with.
Yeah.
You know, that is game for doing anything, or just saying, "Oh, we're not doing anything today. We're just going to lay here and let the butler and the concierge or whatever do
Take
that."
care
Like
of it.
that's what I need. I don't have to go.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would love to go to Tahiti.
Yeah, that's amazing. This era where like the short form video, like I said, the Instagram, TikTok, and you can. They can show you places that make
suck
you.
me in that.
I know.
They suck me in on Airbnbs, all places. I have all of these saved
Exactly.
going. Someday I want to go here. I want to go
We're
here.
We're the same way. Like my wife and I, just like treehouse ones. They're amazing. You're like,
Where is that? How do I
how
go?
do I do that? Like that looks like an amazing experience. You know,
Yes.
and it's so easy to package the feeling of an experience in 20 seconds that way.
Oh, it's
these
amazing.
days.
It sucks me in.
Yep.
Yeah. And then I'm like, I don't get enough PTO time to probably do all of the places that I want to go. And I'm not sure I can afford all of those places where I want to go, but they suck me in, man.
No, I know. All right, that's a good answer.
Yeah.
Tahiti.
Tahiti.
Tahiti is kind of out,
So
way out. It's not really close to anything.
No,
yet, right?
Tahiti, and I was completely wrong. It's It's down by Australia, I think.
Long flight.
Long
You got to
flight.
hustle to get to
Yeah,
Tahiti
and that's
too.
not a week vacation. That's I'm
Exactly.
gonna be off the grid for about a month.
Yeah.
That's what I would want to do.
Well, so what I want to say is, when you target that for, your son goes off to college, and you could plan for that in the future.
Or
Oh no, yeah.
do we have a HETMA school in
Tahiti?
Australia?
No, but we need
in
to
Tahiti,
get them.
and we
Yeah.
can do a HETMA road show there.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I'm still trying to.
We have to work on that one. That would be a great idea.
Lyle in Trinidad and Tobago is the first one I wanted because we got. Let's
that's
start
right.
there. But then
Yes.
this is one of the reasons we need to build Hutma into a true
Yes.
worldwide presence.
Yes.
Is we need to make sure that Starin has to send you.
Starin has to participate.
Yes.
And the Midwich group is a global, right?
You're already set up to
We're
do
already
it.
set up that way. Yeah.
Okay. All right. What is your best life hack or pro tip that you can share?
Ooh. Okay, I'm gonna use this for a female aspect. So especially when COVID hit, everybody's at home. What are you doing? You're working on a Zoom call. If a female, right, or anybody for that matter, is a makeup wearer, get up in the morning and put makeup on. That is what I do. It makes me feel better. It makes me feel like I need to do something. Like I'm not just doing random things usually, and I do it all the time. If I'm going to the grocery store, I may have my sweatpants on or my yoga pants or whatever, but I will have makeup or a baseball hat, but I will have makeup on. That is my thing. So if that just makes me feel better. So that's my kind of life hack.
Cool.
That I do.
It makes you set up like, no, I'm going to present to the world.
Yes.
Like this is so interesting.
Yeah.
That's cool.
It's all mental. It's all
No,
mental for
100%.
me. Yeah.
Going down the rabbit hole of how many habits we think are X, Y, and Z, and really there are things we do to trick ourselves into. The idea that part of your brain can trick your other part of your brain into stuff is fascinating.
And it's amazing. It is. It's amazing to me the days that I don't get up and put my makeup on, how much I don't get accomplished. Like,
exactly.
You know, no, I don't put it on when I'm cutting my grass, but
right. Yeah. But no, it changes.
It does.
I totally understand that. I totally understand that. Okay. Last three questions for everybody.
Yep.
First, what is a question that you wish people would ask you, but nobody ever does?
Ooh, like the one I think that nobody ever asks is, and for anybody, is really like when people say, "How are you doing?"
Yeah.
Like really, like, how are you doing? Like the tone and the voice, because sometimes it just takes that question to make somebody feel better or whatever. So people don't do that. I don't think anymore. That's the one I think I would want to see asked.
Everybody says, "How you doing?" But they don't.
They don't care.
You had the rote response is,
"Oh, I'm great."
Right. What would they do if you're like, "Thanks for asking. Let me tell you X, Y, and Z." Okay, so then what would your advice be for someone who wants to really ask that question and communicate that? No, I'm really asking.
Yes.
Does it really take like, no, I'm really asking?
It could be that, or just that tone in your voice, that look that just says, how are you doing?
Yeah. The nonverbal turns it from a casual thing and
too. If you really because you can read, you can tell.
Yeah. How so? Then the other follow up would be that if you're moving through and you've got that guard up in there, how somebody. How would you gauge at what level to really respond to somebody?
Oh, if that's the only problem with me is I wear my heart on my sleeve. So if somebody's really going to ask me that, they're going to get to know what's going on. Now it might not get into details, but it might be a really bad day or whatever. Yeah. But that's because I think that helps people understand who you are as a person.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, then that's what that's got to do because I'm the same way. Like, there's people out there where I really do care. But how do you communicate that? No, it's okay. Like, I've got some space to hear whatever's going on. And, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Second to last question is, how would people find you or get in touch with you if they also want to chat about Prince or dolphins?
They can find me on LinkedIn, Jennifer Weaver. They can find me on my email at jennifer.weaver@starin.biz. I'm on Twitter at jweaver319, or you can send a note into, if you want to understand what Starin does, www.starin.biz, B-I-Z.
Cool. Yeah. Everybody connect and follow Jen.
Yes, thank you. I appreciate it.
You're going to want it's a good contact. It's a must. You're in the must follow list.
Oh, that's awesome.
People,
I appreciate that. Yeah.
All right. And then finally, the last question is always, and I say it every time, and my setup isn't good, but I've never come up with another setup for it, so you get what you get.
So,
the old school newscasters had a sign-off phrase for their newscast, their drop the mic, end.
Yes.
So what is Jen Weaver's drop the mic sign-off phrase?
God. I forgot about that one. I don't know. Does it have to be like an actual, are you looking for like an actual like statement?
No, it's yours. It doesn't have to be.
So I think my sign off would have to be, you have to have kind of like the roll of an electric guitar starting to play.
Yeah.
And then the only part that you're going to hear is it doesn't get into the whole song, but would be Prince obviously saying, "Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to get through this thing called life," and then that's it.
Perfect.
That's my thing, I think.
I love that.
Yeah.
And everybody that just heard that knows exactly what that sounds like. Okay. Well, Jen, thank you for being with us
Thank
today.
you, Ryan.
Thanks for taking the time to talk.
Yeah, no, this has been awesome.
Thank you for listening to the AV-IT Amplifier. Join us again for next week's episode when we'll welcome a new guest who you'll want to hear from. We promise. Your host has been Ryan Gray. He's on the tweeters at Ryan_A_Gray, or find him on LinkedIn to connect. Please subscribe and give the show a rating and review wherever you get your podcasts. This show is brought to you by higheredav.com. The views expressed here are not necessarily those of our respective institutions, employers, or sponsors. Everyone hang in there, go easy, and we'll be back next week.